Hey, this is Tim Rossi, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about some string bending ideas. This is just a few things to think about when you're playing and bending strings. This is some ideas to add some expression and some, cool stuff to your bends and your playing. All right. So first off, I just want to say a general rule, put out a general guideline for you as far as string bending, and that is, if you're bending strings, the first, second, or third string, that's the high E, the B, and the G string, you want to bend them up, right? So we want to bend them right straight up to the sky, right? Now, on the other hand, we want to take the sixth, fourth, and the fifth string, the E, the A, and the D string, you want to bend those down. In this case, I'm bending towards the ground. And in general, that you can, there's a lot of bending ideas and a lot of ways you can do them, and whatever's most comfortable for you is really the best. But I just suggest these because it gives you room to bend. So when you're bending up, you got plenty of room to bend. If you're going to bend down on the B string, you're going to go right off the fret, which sometimes that's cool too. Here's some other ideas on string bending. One, which is really cool, and basically it just, I'll play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like, but it goes like this. And basically that's, I think B.B. King called that making the strings kiss each other. In this case, they're really kissing. So basically all you do though, and in this case we're gonna draw from the pentatonic, E minor pentatonic scale, where these bends are gonna come from, so you know where they're coming from. All right. In this case, we're going to take our third finger on the high E string, the first string, on the 15th fret, and we're going to bend it up a whole step. So you're going to go from G to A. Now what happens is when you bend up like that is, at this point, the B string, the second string, is right under my finger now. So what I'm going to be able to do is, once I have that note bent up there, pick the B string and then release the bend. So you got something like this. You can do that as well on any of the strings, but another real popular cool one that sounds great is to do it on the B string, on the second string, bending from the 15th fret. Same thing, bending a whole step from D to E, and then we're going to catch that G string under our finger. So you probably get the idea just from listening to it. It just gives you this great screaming sound, two voices kind of together. Something like that. Now another cool bending idea that I think is really great that I do all the time, and at the risk of putting my guitar out of tune, I still do it. I don't seem to care. But what it is basically, I believe it's called an overbend. Some people probably call it overbends. And the idea is, once again, we'll be going from E minor pentatonic, and just say you're doing a cool lick, cool pentatonic lick like this. Nice cool Angus lick or something. Here comes the overbend. It's basically just bending the note way over the target note that you might want to hit. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but the idea is that a lot of times people bend, say in this case in E minor, they might bend from D to E, which is great. But also what's really cool is to just bend way over that E note and totally overshoot it, and it just gives you a kind of real wild kind of vocal quality, which I think is cool. But something like that. In this case, I think I'm bending the string actually almost around a G, around up to a G, so I'm actually bending it up about a 4. Anyways, it's a real cool thing. Just go crazy and overbend and you're gonna love it. Another cool idea, bending idea, is what I consider, I call it like a Jeff Beck It's Jeff Beck doing Jan Hammer bend, I think is what I would call it. And basically, it sounds kind of like this. In this case, I'd be playing out of E minor. We'll call it E minor pentatonic with sort of a Dorian sound. So you're gonna get these notes. But basically, no matter what tonality or scale or whatever you're playing out of, this is the idea, because you can do it with anything, really. So don't be discouraged by any sort of crazy talk about modes or anything. But in this case, let's just say we're going to bend, don't even think about tonalities or anything, but we're going to bend from a G flat to a G. If those were the two notes, then what we want to do is we're going to start out with our playing the G note of the 12th fret on the 3rd string, and then we're going to play the 11th fret on the G string. So we're going to go 12th fret, 11th fret, and then bend with our first finger, just a half-step bend in this case. Because the idea is that you're bending to where your first finger started. So in this case, we're on G note, so we go G, G flat, G. It's kind of a weird bend thing, but once you get it going, you gotta love it. So it goes like this. Now you can take the same idea with really, in this case I use half step and whole step bends the most. They seem to sound the best. You can do this. Or a whole step is like this. And the basic idea is you have two notes and you just want to bend between the two. So you start, in this case, if you started on the A, on the 12th fret, on the 5th string, you catch that A, then you catch the G behind it, right, on the 10th fret, on the A string, 5th string, and then you bend with your first finger up to that A again, whole step bend. So, one more time, I know, this is great. Right? You have A, G, bending up to A, and then releasing the bend to G again. So we have something like that. Anyways, go crazy with it, have fun.